The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in to the Court of Public Opinion. Actually, I think the whole thing that you're going to hear more and more about is more commentary based on what happened with the latest breaking news, Project Veritas, and the reaction, of course, of the big lie that was sold to the American public, and also CNN, how they feel about their own subscribers and people that watch their program every day, not us. So, and listen, no one should ever argue that there isn't a ratings game. That's the whole reason people do broadcasts. Sorry, I don't buy this. I'm not going to go down that road but the reason why they make this whole Russia story sound like a serious story. Okay, they have. In fact, you should see how serious looking they were. And the reason I think you heard about Jay Acosta going out there is because they do really block CNN and MSNBC from being in some cases, on the inside. And they're not used to that, okay? So looking at these reports, they'll think President Trump is just some silly guy. And I could see why some people come away, because they don't take anybody serious. And then when they're in a position like President of the United States, I don't know, maybe at some point you'll have to take it serious. I don't know. But that's opinions. People have their opinions, and I'm not here to discredit people because they have their opinions. The thing is, they're selling a story called Russia, and they admit in this, and I just screenshotted some of these images, but they admitted it in this behind the scenes, investigative report, and you can pretty much get an idea. I don't want to go on about this right now because, I'm kind of letting this, I'm going to shelve this, but I just want to make some comments because, for so many people out there who have tried to emphasize why you watch CNN or why do you watch this, it's not even real news, because it's all propaganda. And if you don't know what propaganda is, that's how they can sell these stories that somehow, when an attack happens, why would a president react to, like right now, the breaking story is that there's a Syrian gas attack. I hope President Trump doesn't listen to these news stories and respond to it. What I'm saying to the public is don't respond to these stories. Don't get upset, and don't let, whether you're a pro-Trump supporter or anti-Trump, don't respond to this. Because some of this stuff, I think it's meant to get the people in trouble. And guess who ends up in jail? When some of you respond to the stories, guess who ends up in jail? You do. Nobody's bailing you out. Just because you feel strongly about your political views, guess who ends up in jail? Guess who gets arrested? It's not worth all this. That's why these reporters, what they're doing is doing great harm. There are people right now that are in jail right now for listening to that news. In fact, there was just a news story about a young man. I'll put all the information below so you can get, you can do it for your, read up for yourself. But I don't, like I said, I can't tell you the details because I don't have it right in front of me. But he used to be an anti-Trumper, or what they call never Trumper, and he used to absolutely hate Trump voters. And then I guess he went to a rally or something happened, and he started listening, and he saw how nice and kind people were, and he said he became a strong supporter of the Trumpers. Not necessarily President Trump, but the Trumpers itself. And I want you guys to see that you don't have to support President Trump if you don't, but just it's about the people. It's always been about that. I've told friends and family, I might not support the things President Trump has said. Okay? In fact, sometimes I wonder what is going on with some of the comments that made back and forth, but I think there's an internal debate with President Trump, and has been, and I don't always want to get into all that, okay? No, but when people talk about his behavior, why didn't they talk about President Barack Obama's behavior? Why is it only about President Trump's behavior? Because absolutely, this is problematic, okay? It's real easy to sit here and attack President Trump, but they didn't make these comments. They didn't have any. They didn't talk about how President Barack Obama had issues and the things he said, and he said some pretty awful things, and you knew where he's throwing a left, you know, like I want to say a curveball into left field. Okay, and they didn't say these things about President Barack Obama. They didn't say these things. They, in fact, praised him, and he got praised because he didn't care about what the other people thought. But now, in the dialogue is that President Trump is crazy. He's this. And in all honesty, most of the people did not say the things that they say about President Trump, about President Barack Obama. And his policies were actually very harmful to America. And if anybody bought the lie, then they're foolish, because obviously they were watching CNN. And that's the point to all this. I don't want to go too much further than that, because honestly, I'm not in the mood to discuss it. But I do want to say this, that we will visit this topic back. I'm going to listen to, I like to listen to radio news just like anybody else. So, I mean, and we're amateurs, we're just learning. And I don't always want to go on about this stuff, because there's plenty of people that are going to go about it differently. And I want to keep it short and brief. But I do want to state this, that we will revisit Project Veritas. We're going to follow it, and I think it's worth following. And the whole reason a lot of people argue with each other is over a big fat lie, like Russia, Russia, Russia. And it's not worth all that. And we know that there's a lot of people that are never Trumpers or pro-Trumpers or things like that, that have been arguing about a lie, a story that's been sold to us. It's not worth, basically what I'm saying, it's not worth getting in trouble over, okay? And basically, there are people that are willing to throw themselves and become martyrs for their causes. It's not like that. I just hope, it doesn't matter where you stand on the issues. It's nice that we have 4th of July holiday coming up. We're going to have a freedom rally. I just think that it would be really nice for all of us to wear blue. I like diversity. We like America. We love seeing our country and people come together and work together. It doesn't matter if you're left, right, middle, up, down, sideways. I love to see America get along based on truth and honesty, not based on these lies. A lot of the reasons why people don't get along today is because they never gave people a chance, and they believed a lie instead of telling the truth. And believing a lie is messed up. It's messed up. It's a reason a lot of people don't get along, because they bought the story Russia. They bought this stuff, and they were willing to argue with their own family. I hope this is an opportunity for people to patch it up, because you know what? Now that some of you know that this was a lie all along, I think you should take some time to apologize. It's a good time to start over, apologize, make up, kiss, make up, whatever. But don't be dissing your friends and family because you disagree. But at least if you know it's not even a true story, or the news channel that in itself is a big lie, why would you throw your relationships under the bus? Why would you care about what these people say? It's not worth losing friends over it. It's not worth losing relationships over it. It's certainly not worth fighting over, especially when we know it's a big fat lie. Thank you, Project Veritas. We're going to sign off here. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back maybe sometime between now and the 4th. But if not, have a happy 4th of July. The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.